Alrighty, folks, welcome to our NFL Week 15 video here today for the 2024 season. Of course, if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. And if you want to see which one of these free plays on this video here today that I actually like the best, you may want to think about signing up for my NFL tier membership on my premium page. You'll get access to 3 premium NFL plays each and every week for the next 30 days. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and dive right into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Ravens at the Giants, 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff. Baltimore's minus 15.5 on the road, totals 42. Now, Baltimore leads the league in yards per play from scrimmage. Lamar Jackson's thrown for nearly 3,300 yards and 29 touchdowns. Jackson's also thrown just 3 interceptions all season long. Of course, Big Derrick Henry's rushed for over 1,400 yards on the ground and 13 scores. He's averaging 5.9 yards per carry. And they're facing a bottom 5 rushing defense in the Giants, 29th in yards allowed per play at home. Now, injury-wise, Banks, Locke, and Flott are questionable. Runyons, Okereke, Philippe, out. Baltimore, Isaac and Canes are questionable. Pierce, Smollett, Kohler, Tampa, and Hardy still inactive. Weather cloudy and cold at game time. 36 degrees, slight breeze at kickoff. G-Men saw overs recently versus Dallas, Washington, and Pittsburgh. Baltimore went 7-2 to the over in their last 9. Give me the Ravens minus 15.5 over 42. Next game, Bengals, Titans, 1 o'clock East. Cincy's 4.5, totals 46.5. We saw a half a point fade of Cincinnati, open 5 down to 4.5. Bengals are 5-8 straight up, 7-6 against the point spread. Tennessee just 3-10 straight up, 2-11 against the number. And more recently, the Titans failed to cover in 8 out of their last 9, bottom 3 in points per game. When it comes to protecting the quarterback, the Titans are allowing just about 4 sacks a game. They're currently committing more penalties on offense than any other team besides one. They're facing a Cincy team who's had little problems moving the chains. Joe Burrow throws for more yards a game than any other quarterback. And Jamar Chase is over 1,300 yards receiving and 15 scores. Now, injury-wise, Rankins, Browns, Bache, Wilson, and McPherson are out. Charlie Jones is questionable. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, Pollard, Latham, Murray, and Reese are questionable for them. When it comes to the weather report, rain and wind is possible Sunday in the Music City. Should be about 56 degrees at game time. Now, total-wise, the Titans saw unders recently against Jacksonville, Minnesota, and New England. Meanwhile, the Bengals on the other side saw unders recently against the likes of the Cowboys, Cleveland, and the Giants. Give me the Bengals minus 4.5, under 46.5. Next game, Cowboys, Panthers, 1 o'clock East. Carolina's minus 3, totals 43. The Panthers are just 3-10 straight up, 6-7 against the point spread. And when it comes to defensive play, the Panthers allow more points a game than any other defense in the league. They're allowing a league-worst 170 yards per contest on the ground. And they're facing a Dallas club who averages 27 points a game in their last 3 straight themselves. 3 out of the Cowboys' last 4 contests got over the total. 5-3 to the over in their last 8. Meanwhile, Carolina saw overs in 7 out of their last 10 themselves. Give me the Cowboys plus 3 over 43. Next game, Chiefs, Browns, 1 o'clock East. Kansas City's minus 3.5, totals 43.5. We saw a half a point fade of Kansas City. They opened at 4. Chiefs are 12-1 straight up. Cleveland just 3-10. Browns also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5 contests. Dead last in yards allowed per completion. And they're facing Patrick Mahomes, who's 5th in completions himself, top 10 in completion percentage. The Chiefs saw overs recently against the likes of Carolina, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, the Browns saw 4 out of their last 6 get over the total themselves. Give me Kansas City minus 3.5 over 43.5. All right, next game, Dolphins-Texans, 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff. Houston's 2.5, totals 47. Texans are 8-5 straight up, winning record against the point spread. Miami just 6-7 straight up, 5-8 against the number. This Miami offensive unit's in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 3 in yards per rush. Now, Miami also puts the ball on the turf and commits more. They commit their fair share of penalties. And they're facing a Houston defense who's second in the league in sacks, second in interceptions. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson have 20 sacks between the both of them. And Kalen Bullock leads the secondary in picks. This Houston defense is currently holding opposing quarterbacks to just 56% passing. That is a league best. 7 out of the Texans' last 10 outings did fall under the total. Miami saw unders recently against the likes of the Packers, Rams, and Colts. Give me the Texans minus 2.5, under 47. Next game, Jets, Jags, 1 o'clock East. The Jets are the 4-point favorite, totals 40. We did see a half a point move toward the Jets, open 3.5. New York's just 3-10 straight up, 4-9 against the number. Jacksonville just 3-10 straight up, but 8-5 against the point spread. They've done a nice job covering this year, and as a matter of fact, Jacksonville has been one of the best covering teams in the league over the past couple of months. Out of their last 7 contests, they covered the point spread in all of those games except for one. As a matter of fact, during that time frame, they covered against the likes of Minnesota, Philadelphia, and Green Bay. And they're facing a Jets team on the other side who they're on a 4-game skid themselves, just 1-9 straight up in their last 10. When it comes to defensive play, well, this Jets defense has allowed 25 points or more in 6 out of their last 7 ball games. The secondary is currently dead last in interceptions. Now, total-wise, the Jets' last 3 straight did get over the total, 6-2 to the over in their last 8. Meanwhile, 5 out of Jacksonville's last 8 games got over the total themselves. Give me the Jags plus 4, over 40. Next game, Commanders, Saints, 1 o'clock East. Washington is minus 8, totals 43.5. We saw a half a point move toward the Commanders in this one, open 7.5, up to 8. Washington did fail to cover in 3 out of their last 4 games. They actually took the outright loss in all of those contests except for one. When it comes to defensive play, well, the Commanders just were not good enough during that stretch. They allowed 27 points a game on average during that short time frame. And a big problem for this Washington defensive unit, it's been their secondary. They're in the bottom 5 in picks, 29th in defensive quarterback rating. And they're facing a New Orleans squad who's gotten the W in 3 out of their last 4 themselves. Defense looked pretty awesome during that time frame. The Saints allowed just 15 points a game during that short span. Of course, at the moment, this New Orleans defense is currently in the top 10 in takeaways. Now, oddly enough, New Orleans saw overs recently against the likes of Cleveland, Carolina, and Denver. Meanwhile, 4 out of Washington's last 5 outings got over the total themselves, 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Give me the Saints plus 8, over 43.5. Next game of the week, game of the year possibly, Bills-Lions, 425 East. Detroit's minus 2, totals 55. And as good as the Lions have been on offense, they did see unders in 4 out of their last 6 games. Talking about unders against the likes of Chicago, Indy, and Houston. And a lot of that is thanks to this overshadowed defense. The Lions are 3rd in defensive scoring, 1st in defensive quarterback rating. Meanwhile, Buffalo on the other side, they saw unders recently against the likes of the Niners, Seahawks, and Texans. And they've also played some good defense themselves. They've got a top 10 passing defense, 3rd in yards allowed per completion. Of course, when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game is being featured as one of my NFL tier package plays on my premium page. But as far as making a free pick is concerned, I like the under 55. All right, next game, Colts-Broncos, 425 East. Denver is minus 5, totals 44. Half a point move toward the Broncos, open 4.5. Denver's 8-5 straight up, 10-3 against the point spread. Indy 6-7 straight up, failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5. When it comes to throwing the football, well, not many teams are doing it worse than Indy. They're dead last in completion percentage, league low in completions per game. And no real surprise here, the Colts currently have the second lowest quarterback rating in the NFL. And unfortunately for them, they're facing a Broncos defense who leads the league in sacks, 4th in yards allowed per throw. Nick Bonito has 11 sacks on the season, 36 total tackles. Meanwhile, Jones and Barton have 82 tackles apiece. Now, total-wise, the Broncos saw unders recently against the likes of Atlanta, Kansas City, and the Jets. Meanwhile, the Colts went 5-3 to the under in their last 8. Give me Denver -4, under 44. Next game, Patriots-Cardinals, 425 East. Arizona's -5.5, totals 46. Half a point fade of Arizona, opened as the 6-point favorite. The Cards are 6-7 straight up, 8-5 against the point spread. New England 3-10 straight up, 5-8 against the number. This New England team is dead last in offensive passing, second to last in points per game. And they're facing a Cardinals team who's actually allowed just 16 points a game in their last 5 contests. This Cardinal defense, well, they're a pretty disciplined bunch. They're actually 3rd in the league in fewest penalties per game. Now, Arizona went 4-1 to the under in their last 5 themselves, 7-2 to the under in their last 9. Arizona saw unders recently against the Bears, Titans, and Dolphins. Give me Arizona -5.5, under 46. Next game, Steelers, Eagles, 425 East. Philadelphia is the 6-point favorite, totals 42.5. The Eagles are 11-2 straight up, 8-5 against the point spread. Pittsburgh 10-3 straight up, 10-3 against the number. Of course, more recently, the Steelers covered in 7 out of their last 8 outings. They're in the top 10 in rushing yards. And even though they're really not known for their passing game, well, the Steelers are currently in the top 10 in yards per completion. They're facing an Eagles team who doesn't score early. They never score points in the first quarter, and they are second to last in the league in passing yards. Now, weather-wise, 40 degrees and breezy at kickoff. When it comes to the total, the Eagles saw overs against the likes of the Rams, Commanders, and Jags. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh saw overs in 7 out of their last 10 themselves. Give me the Steelers +6, over 42.5. Next game, Bucks, Chargers, 425 East. LA's -3.5, totals 45.5. The Chargers are 8-5 straight up, 9-4 against the point spread. Tampa 7-6 straight up, 8-5 against the number. The Bucks are on a 3-game winning streak, 4-1 against the number in their last 5. And this Tampa defense has, definitely played better over the past month or so. These guys are now 10th in sacks, 5th in fumbles. And they're facing a Charger offensive unit who's been lackluster at best. They're throwing for just $198 a game, bottom 10 in sacks allowed. And out of the Chargers' last 3 games, well, they averaged only 19 points per contest. Now, 5 out of the Chargers' last 8 ball games did fall under the total. Tampa Bay saw unders in 3 out of their last 4 themselves. Give me the Bucks +3.5, under 45.5. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Packers-Seahawks game. That'll be an 8:20 Eastern kickoff. Green Bay's -3, totals 46. Now, the Pack saw overs recently against the likes of Detroit, San Francisco, and Jacksonville. Their secondary is also allowing opposing quarterbacks to complete nearly 70% of their throws against them. Of course, on the other side, this Seattle defense is 25th in yards allowed per carry, 30th in penalties committed. When it comes to the total, they saw overs in their last 2 straight, overs against the likes of the Cardinals and Jets. And when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game is being featured as one of my NFL tier package plays on my premium page. But as far as making a free pick is concerned, I like the over 46. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Give me Baltimore minus 15.5 over 42. Cincinnati minus 4.5 under 46 and a hook. Cowboys plus 3 over 43. Chiefs minus 3.5 over 43 and a hook. Houston minus 2.5 under 47. Jaguars plus 4 over 40. Saints plus 8 over 43.5. I like the under 55 in the Bills-Lions game. Broncos minus 4 under 44. Cardinals minus 5.5 under 46. Steelers plus 6 over 42.5. Buccaneers plus 3.5 under 45 and a hook. And give me the over 46 in the Packers-Seahawks game. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today on my premium site, just a friendly final reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. They're going to be included with your membership. That's why I always tell folks, that Gold Club package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. But most importantly, folks, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.